Well, greetings subscribers, welcome back to the channel. This one's going to be a little different because it's a huge accomplishment for me, and I'm looking forward to being able to use this gear to get a project actually completed. And kind of bittersweet because I ordered this stuff, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago, and shame on me that it's been sitting around. I know there's probably a lot of you out there that was like, man, if I had that, I'd be using it night and day. Well, you know, as you know, yeah, it's not like I exactly have a lot of spare space here to move things around. So what is it? Well, yeah, a while back I got a Miller Dynasty 200. This is a TIG welder, stick welder, AC, DC, you name it. And yeah, I was going to use this on my roll cage and some other stuff, and then I got rid of that car. Maybe I'll post a little photo of it. And then the package deal at the time also came with this little Spectrum 375 X-Treme plasma cutter, but of course I did not have the compressor and the right CFM to actually use it. So again, yeah, it just sat. So yeah, this past week I actually got off my ass and got these installed. So I now have two 50 amp circuits and what, 8 20 amp quads. So actually able to work on a project in the house doing the stair railing. So like I said, you know, probably not that interesting for you guys, but highly interesting and a good accomplishment finally on my side. So for those of you that don't know, what's kind of cool about the Miller Spectrum is they have these little MVP plugs, and what that means is it's like a multi voltage plug. So the plug-in for the power, you know, comes this way with this little 4-prong, and then they send you in the kit, they actually send you this only like 15 amp, which I was very surprised. But you can get the other plugs. You can get twist locks and like L630s twist locks, 520s. I think they sell a bunch of different things, and I think they sell some little whips, you know, to convert for different stuff. But you know, now that I have the 50 amp plug, doesn't really matter, the 250 volt. So these are kind of cool though, because this thing little slide down onto this. And you just tighten this thing down. Like that. And then we can go over here. And for the, you know, 110, 120, you can just, yeah, plug that in like that. And get over here, and we'll flip the switch. And yeah, of course I'm gonna get you know, a pressure air, because I don't have this hooked up to you know, a compressor. But yeah, I think this is kind of the only thing I would say was cheesy on it. Is, look, you know, here's 15, 20, you know, or 50, and it doesn't change anything, unlike the welder. I mean, the welder, you plug that in, it'll tell you what voltage it is. They've, you know, it's got an inverter in there, so it'll run on basically anything, AC, DC. I think it'll go all the way up to, like, you know, 600. So if you got three phase, but that's pretty cool. So you know, I was just out here basically testing all this stuff, since it had never been, I know, sadly, it had never been fired up. So absolutely pathetic. But that's the yeah, 20 amp. So basically just your 110, 120, 20 amp, and it's good. And I like the way this thing fires down. It's like, hey, yep, little cool off. So that's that plug. And yeah, so that's that plug. And again, I'm surprised it's not even like a 20 or 30 amp with a little sideways blade on it, but as long as it works. And then again, I'm trying to hold the camera here, just pull this off. pull that plug. Again, that's what that looks like. Put this one on. And those plugs, these plugs are not like little 4 prongs. I thought had some kind of orientation to them, and they really do not. They just plug in. However, however you had them before is how they like to go back on. So let's try to get this turned around. There you go. And we'll just get this screwed back on here. There you go. So I went, and I'll show you here on the Welder, on the Dynasty. You know, I went with the like the common RV 3-blade single phase kind of RV plug, and those are the flat blades. You know, they're not like a little smiley face, just flat blades, like you get a dryer plug basically. And then I put the outlets in upside down so that especially on that one, the cord could hang down. So yeah, and again, I had this area cleaned while I was doing this work, and it's already filled back up. That's going to be my concern about getting a compressor in here is, man, I just don't have the space, you know, if I put that in. So yep, there you go on that. And we'll get this thing fired back up again. And there you go on the power. So same thing, powered up. And like I said, you know, this comes on whether this is, I mean, this is like, doesn't really feel like it's doing anything, but it's got this little indicator here. And once you get into the manual and stuff, I mean, it'll tell you, depending on the voltage and your extension cord and so on and so forth, like what kind of material and what kind of pressure. But yeah, pretty nice, pretty sweet. It's got came with, I don't remember this model, but came with a nice handle. So yep, definitely be doing a lot of videos with this for sure, especially on the railing. It's going to be much faster to be able to cut what I need to cut, you know, just right there. But I gotta get the compressor first. So all right, well anyway, we're gonna do the Welder next, so stay tuned. All right, so this is the Dynasty TIG welder, TIG stick, yeah. Anyway, and it came basically just with a raw cable whip on it for you to either hook up. It's 4-wire, so you can either hook it up 3-phase if you have it, or just single-phase 3-wire. Some of the little connectors that they have, I know this looks overkill, but some of the connectors they have at what do they say, the big box store? I don't know why they don't say like Home Depot or Lowe's. Yeah, I don't really like the 3-prong dryer plugs that they had available, so I got this online, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. I love this like little three-finger pull, and that's what I was talking about. If you got the ground up on the plug, you can see how this lays out, and the cable is going to be hanging down, you know, to the bottom. So yeah, this is 250 volt, 50 amp. So we'll get this thing plugged in here, and I'll show you firing it up. So yeah, see how so much nicer that is, and when you need to remove it, you can just put your fingers in there and pull it out. So on the back of this, yeah, a little bit more Mondo on the power. And one of the things that's nice with this inverter is same thing. It will take anything. It'll take yeah, 110, 120, like, you know, 20 amp, 15 amp, 20 amp, 50 amp, 30 amp, whatever. It's got an inverter inside, so it'll basically take any power that you give it. And then on the front panel, when you power it up, it will actually tell you like 253. I got to look at this real quick. I mean, that's the voltage, and then your amps. So it'll tell you like what your voltage is and what your amps is, and then this will crank you up to whatever your TIG amp. So if you're like welding at say 200, and then if you're not familiar with these, I mean, pretty cool panel. You got your polarity, process, output, pulse, sequence, adjust, and then your AC wave. So again, you can go DC, like here for TIG, it'll TIG at DC, but you can switch between DC, AC for stick welding, and then again, you can just dial this in and, you know, just whatever your amperage is going to be. So yeah, pretty cool. So I will definitely be using this first, absolutely. And then yeah, online, I also got here, let me pull this down. And then online, I mean, I was actually looking at the pieces parts online to get myself a nice 50-foot extension here. Same thing, 3-prong plug. And the material, just basically the material, just to buy like the cabling and then a couple ends, you know, a P and an R, was about 100, yeah, like 115 bucks. And I found this online originally, Vival or something like that, and they were like 99, and then Amazon had this and the actual plug for like 74 bucks, shipped free. So I went that route, and I'm kind of surprised based on the specs of this thing too. At 250 50 volt, I can go 75 or 76 feet with the extension at 200 amps. So that'll get me you know, back to the back gate and everywhere I need to be. And then for 110 120 volt, it's like 272 feet, which I mean, 300 feet away. I was surprised it was actually farther, and then I kind of reminded myself of my limited knowledge of electricity and impedance and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, this is cool. I'll show you firing this up. So this is a 50-foot waterproof extension cable, AW10. Yeah, good deal. So yeah, let's power this down. We'll connect up on the extension and show you. I mean, it's basically the same if you don't believe me. All right, well, I hate to know what kind of giant quantum leap I'm gonna make with this cable. It'd be cool to see, because you know it's not 100% shielded. It should be, but come on. So yeah, we'll go this route now. This is on the extension, so we'll get this plugged in here, get that in place. And again, you see how these cables are dropping down, so that was kind of my plan and my idea. Otherwise I would have put probably a sub panel here, but I mean, as it is, I've got more power now in the garage than I do in the rest of the house. So this is whatever, 140 plus I got another 30 amp, so 70. Yeah, I'm pulling almost my whole panel over in here. So again, here's our other design, and yeah, just, oh man, I love this. This is so cool. I would say like brass knuckles, but plastic knuckles, copper knuckles. Yeah, imagine. It'd be pretty bad if you hit somebody with that. Anyway, yep. Here's the plug side, and look, let's do this. So the only thing I don't like on this side, which I wanted to do, was twist locks. You know, so if I had a whip that was twist lock with the plugs, but I think this is going to be fine. You know, I can either tie it up, and this cable is still pretty flexible, which is something that I liked as well. And yeah, I'll come up with something, you know, even if it's just Velcro strap, in case I pull that around. But these things don't, I mean, they don't come apart very easily. So anyway, same thing. We'll get this thing on. Get the voltage on the front, 253. So 250, and I believe again that's 253 volts up to 241 amps is what I'm able to do. So that's on my yeah, 50 foot cable, so that works great. And I think there might just be some stuff in the very back of the house where I might have to get another, I don't know, maybe I'll get a 25, another one of these cables. 25, I think they were only like 40 bucks. So I mean, that's a good deal. And remember, like, you can use this for multiple things. I mean, these are kind of like a standard RV extension cord, and also good for a generator. Not that we really have that many issues out here, but you can always, you know, hook this up to a generator, reverse feed your panel, you know, shut off your main and just have the breakers on that you need, and you're pretty much good to go for powering your house up, you know, off of that or natural gas or whatever. So anyway, but yeah, again, I am very happy to finally have this, and we're gonna definitely do some videos with the railings, definitely a time lapse as well, because a lot of people have been asking me like, hey, when are you getting that done? So anyway, as per usual, I will see you on the next one.